Well, here I am again doing another late night quiet analysis. And some of it's just because the week was so chaotic. I figured I'd take a lower, softer tone, maybe more reflective, I should say. Um, my initial assessment of the debate performance, I stand by everything I said in that case. Although I will say, I'm a little surprised as to how much it seems like moderates actually thought that Trump won the debate. I am surprised with a lot of the polls I'm seeing, particularly like the Telemundo poll. The more I look into that, um, the debate's ratings were down. I knew it would be a soundbite fight. Now, luckily, somebody at the Trump campaign pulled their head out of their ass, and they put together basically compilations of him since all the way back in 2015 in some cases, disavowing the Klan, disavowing white supremacy, speaking out against these things. And that's the thing, is that like I I understand that it's true. Yes, he is not a white supremacist, and yes, he has condemned it many times before. And yes, the media is malicious in asking the questions and framing things the way they have, asking like they've never answered. Um, and I understand the president's getting frustrated with it, but his campaign, it's up to his campaign to put the truth in front of people, because the media is not going to do that for you. Fox is not going to do that for you. Chris Wallace was not going to do that for you. John Roberts was not going to do that for you. And does John Roberts know what the truth is? I don't know. I don't know what they know. They live in a bubble. Their memory span is so short. That does explain a lot of the hypocrisy. Um, because they're in the bubble, they're in the fight constantly. And Trump, I know you feel like you're in the fight constantly. And you're carrying essentially the baggage of having to constantly denounce white supremacy and speak out against it, even though it's not even a thing right now. I know you don't want to draw attention to it, but your campaign needs to be on the ball with this. The video montages they've been releasing, great. Run them on TV. Run them on TV. Run them on TV. Run them on internet ads. Show people with the date right there saying when this occurred, and then show side by side the media claiming that, oh, it never happened. You have to expose this to people, because the left is not going to expose it to their own people. They're not going to say, oh, well, we accuse him of this, but he's not really a white supremacist. No, they're banking on them hit their people thinking Trump's a white supremacist. So Trump's campaign needs to go out of its way. I know it's annoying, but you got to realize, if it fires up your base when you punch back, it fires up your base. You don't need to even attack. When you defend yourself, it fires up your base. When you point out things that the media isn't covering, it fires up your base. We are really tired as your base of losing friends and having to defend, even though it's true, the idea that you're not the president isn't a white supremacist, right? We're sick of that, because it's not fair. Because the media is corrupt and they're misleading people, and the Democrats have absolutely no problem taking full advantage of that. But it's up to the Trump campaign to help us. You have to help us. And one of the ways you can help us is to literally force them to watch it, force the captive audience, buy that 15-second ad, and just show with a date and a little clip that runs, and then there it is, one after another. Charlottesville, I'm not talking about neo-Nazis, KK, I condemn them totally, which is the date right there. It's soundbite warfare. So, they did a better job than usual in deflecting this week. But you have to make it so that the regular average Democrats can't just keep saying this line because they're just going to keep repeating it over and over and over again. And you have to put it in front of people and basically deny them the ability to have not seen that the president has condemned these people before. The president made a mistake on Fox. Fox is not the president's friend, and they badgered him again about it. And then, as he said, he doesn't know who the Proud Boys are. And then they framed it basically. They said, "Oh yeah, but they're bad, they're violent." So then there's the clip of him saying, "I denounce the KKK, I denounce white supremacy, I denounce the Proud Boys." In the context he's talking about it, it's basically what they've now set it up for. Bad move. Somebody needed to get in there, advisor-wise, and they need to inform him what the Proud Boys are. He should have been on the phone with the Proud Boys leader. He should have had a photo op as soon as possible. They got I think this Rodriguez or whatever. He's like a half black, half Cuban or whatever. Just get a picture with them, with him. That's all you need, and then you don't have to address that. But they did. They bullied him into saying something he shouldn't say. This is what they do. Trump is normally really good about not falling for these sorts of traps. For example, QAnon. The way he handled that was perfectly. In this case, I get the sense he is frustrated because he keeps getting the same question over and over and over again, and he keeps giving the same answer over and over and over again, and it's never enough. The clip from the debate of that exchange, along with the transcript, it's actually not as bad, I think, as a lot of people remember, like the president screwing up. Basically, he says, "Sure, what do you want me to say?" And then Wallace immediately pivoted and then said, talked about the violence, which is why Trump said, basically jumped off. He's like, "Wait a minute, I'm not condemning the white supremacist violence in the city. There is none. Basically, it's the left you have to condemn." So that was his attempt to pivot. So it makes a lot more sense. And the fact that basically Wallace allowed that to just, basically, first of all, Biden piled in on him. And Wallace, that it was completely dishonest. It was a setup, and Wallace immediately ended the segment. The second, basically, he got, he got what he wanted out of Trump, which was basically the clip of him saying, "Do you condemn the white supremacist violence in the cities?" And then Trump immediately not answering that because it's not based in reality. But that's the thing, is that that's what they wanted, because that's what the media has been telling people, that the white supremacists are causing the violence, even though people on the ground know that's not the case. So that sucked. Good and bad this week in that sense. Now, unfortunately, the big story is the president now has COVID-19. He's got the Wuhan flu. Hope Hicks apparently had it. They spent time with Hope Hicks, and Hope Hicks gave it to both the president and the first lady. I suspect it's probably now all over the damn White House at this point. It's right. The problem is the debate was scheduled for the 15th. If they quarantine for 14 days, he has to actually beat it in 14 days. So that might not be enough time. And now they're already pushing the narrative that he's afraid to do the second debate. He wasn't afraid to do the second debate. In fact, Biden was afraid to do the second debate, and that was why they were counterpunching. But now they have a really good attack line. They can say, "Oh, he's pretending to have COVID." I mean, we know he's not pretending to have COVID, but it doesn't matter. It's all about imaging. The president has a real opportunity over the next 14 days. He should just update people on his treatment, how he's feeling, what he's taking, what the doctor said. He should be seen meeting with the Republican senators and House members who already have COVID, who are essentially immune to it now. Just do some photo ops with them, talk with them. Him and Rand Paul should just talk down and have a discussion that's, on camera about, basically Rand saying, "Hey, this is what I went through," and then Trump, just being like, "Oh, okay, this is what I can expect." Melania should be by his side for the most part, and they should just look good and look healthy and not look worried, and that's really the best thing they can do. Remember, Boris Johnson got it early on, and he's kind of a sloppy guy, and Melania and Trump are going to actually look fine. this is a good opportunity to really project strength and basically project the fact that this virus ain't shit. And Trump's in also the age group that's at risk, so he can be really bold. I don't suspect he'll get super sick. I just don't. He's not the kind of person he doesn't have like bronchial problems or asthma problems or heart issues or anything. He's just one of those like tough breeds, you know. So I suspect he'll be fine. Melania's probably fine. You know, she's built like a superhero, so she's probably fine. They need to project strength, and despite the mask stuff and all this other stuff, he shouldn't be seen with a mask when he's quarantined. He should basically be projecting that he is not afraid no matter what. Because the Dems are already spooling up attack ads. They're going to say he called it a hoax, and now he caught it. He can't prevent himself from catching it. Like, I can hear the line they're going to be pushing. What Trump can do to counter this, and honestly, God, I'm thinking of, I don't know. I don't even know who to contact because this advice needs to be heard. This is his chance for 14 days to hit all of the web shows. All of them. He needs to have a web one-on-one basically interview with Tim Pool. He needs to have one with Dave Rubin. He needs to have one with Joe Rogan. He just needs to, even if he just calls in, just say, he's in quarantine. So where else is he going to go? Like, he can't go to the rallies. He can't be in the Oval Office doing stuff. Not that there's all that much going on, really, in the grand scheme of things. There's going to be, the Justice Department's going to be basically taking a lot of the news cycle away as they release more stuff. We know that's going to happen. So, you know, he doesn't want to trip on it. Or I should say, he doesn't want to step on the news cycle as the Justice Department releases more stuff from the Durham report. He needs to pretty much everyone he can talk to in alt media, whether it's a phone call or a web, just calling in with the web or via microphone, probably by a phone is probably the best way. For extended periods of time, I'm talking, 30 minutes minimum, 2.5 hours, kind of like sit down and talk with these people. He's got nowhere else to go. This is just going to be his quarantine alt media blitz. All right. He needs to out basement Biden in the basement. Forget interviewing with NBC and getting the camera set up and all this other crap. Don't do any of that. You want it to feel natural. You want people to not really know what you're doing behind the scenes. You just want to project confidence. You want to, go to the window. You want to talk to some people. You want to. There's strategy to what's going on. But the biggest thing he can do is hit all the alt media stuff. He's got 14 days, and if he blitzes the alt media. They're not going to be talking about the COVID stuff. They're going to be too busy chasing all these people he talked to. He's going to talk to Joe Rogan, and then they're going to attack Joe Rogan. If he talks to Sargon, they're going to attack Sargon. If he talks to Tim Pool, they're going to attack Tim Pool. And it's not like you want to bring, the wrath of the media upon these people, but if you do it enough and you spread it out, you talk to Dave Rubin, you talk to, the one guy from the Walk Away campaign. All you need to do is have a phone or web conversation with them. He will absolutely blitz, basically the left's line of attack, because while he's still talking to people, he's still campaigning, he's still projecting confidence and projecting his message. The left will be scrambling to attack things that are only relevant, 10 days ago. So this is one of those times when it seems like you're at a very weak point, because you are. But you have to, because the left the Democrats are chomping at the bit, because Biden doesn't have to appear. Everybody else will just be attacking the president now, because he got sick. He's in a weaker position. They smell blood in the water. They are all going to pounce. And if he preempts them, basically he starts doing all the alt media stuff, completely flanking them, basically. They're going to look like idiots. So that's what needs to happen going forward. It's going to be a mess. Some people are really mean online. Yeah, they're going to say nasty stuff. The right, don't get worked up about it. These people are clueless. These people think the president's a white supremacist. They think he said the coronavirus was a hoax. He just needs to come out strong and be like, we have the best medical system in the world, and he wasn't afraid. And that's what he needs to. That's what he needs to do. So, hopefully, Hope Hicks is okay. Although she's probably asymptomatic. She's actually younger than me. She's ridiculously smart and confident and motivated. She's just one of those people who just like she's unbelievable. She'll be lucky to find a man who can keep up with her. Let's say, because I'm just amazed when I see all the stuff she's done. But hopefully she'll get better. See, that's the thing with the virus is it's the contagion, not the lethality. That has been the problem with the virus. We'll see. But yeah, I think maybe I'll try to call one of the campaign people and I don't know. But if you're alt media, man, now is the time to say, hey, this is a good opportunity. Hey, he's quarantined. What else has he got time to do? Right? So, we'll see.